Hi, I'm Teddy and you are watching Top Review. Subscribe to our channel to see more reviews in future. Knowing how to pop fresh popcorn can be a very useful skill to have in your kitchen repertoire. You can pop popcorn using regular cookware you already own, but if popping popcorn is something you like to do all the time, a faster and simpler method is probably a smart idea, whether it's using a stovetop popper, air popper, or microwavable popper. The 5 best popcorn poppers. Salbree Collapsible Silicone Microwave Hot Air Popcorn Popper Bowl. We like. No butter or oil needed. Built-in measuring lines. Inexpensive and compact. Works quickly. Easy to clean. We don't like. Has to cool down between batches. Popcorn often spills out. Large number of unpopped kernels. Water stains from dishwasher. We won't lie, the Salbree popcorn popper looks pretty underwhelming upon arrival. It comes flattened in a plastic bag, and when we first held it, we thought it was too flimsy to stand up. The blue silicone material also looked a little dusty. Needless to say, it certainly wasn't love at first sight. The fact that it can be flattened down into a relatively compact shape is great for storage, as many other popcorn makers are quite bulky. The instructions say you can wash the Salbree microwave popper in the dishwasher, but they also warn that silicone is prone to water spots. For the sake of our readers, we tested this out, and they weren't lying. Both the bowl and cover came out covered in tons of water spots that didn't want to come off. The silicone material is super easy to wash by hand, so we suggest skipping the dishwasher altogether. Just be sure not to put any type of seasoning in the popper. If you want butter, oil, salt, or cheese, pop it plain and transfer it to another bowl for seasoning. Otherwise, it will be much harder to clean, as these toppings tend to stick to the silicone. The instructions say to put 1/4 cup of kernels in the popper, but we admit that we overfilled the cup the first time. We were making snacks in bulk, and why was there a 1/2 cup measurement if you couldn't use it? So we filled it up, put the lid in place and selected the 3-ounce popcorn setting on the microwave. This started a 2-minute timer that ended up being perfect. By the end of the 2 minutes, the bowl was literally overflowing onto the microwave turntable. That's probably why they recommend only using 1/4 cup of kernels, but you live in and you learn. While it is simply a piece of silicone, it works as intended and will last a long time if taken care of properly. For those reasons, we think it's worth the price. West Bend Stir Crazy Popcorn Popper. We like. Makes up to 24 cups. Fun to watch. Popcorn tastes good. Few unpopped kernels. We don't like. Easy to burn popcorn. Butter melter isn't great. Bulky to store. Butter cap doesn't stay on bowl. Hard to clean. Our first thought upon taking the West Bend popcorn machine out of the box was, oh no, where are we going to store this thing? The popcorn maker is quite bulky, measuring 14 inches from handle to handle and standing 10 inches tall with its dome in place. To store it, you can place the base inside the plastic dome, but that doesn't make it any less cumbersome, in our opinion. Once we got past the initial size shock, we couldn't help but admit the gadget is pretty fun. The popcorn maker includes 4 pieces: the base, with the power cord and heating element, a removable heating plate with a stirring rod, a plastic dome, and a dome cap. The plastic dome is supposed to double as a serving bowl, but we found that the cap doesn't stay on reliably when inverted. We passed on using it as a serving dish as we weren't going to risk getting butter stains all over the couch. We will also say that if you don't have a dishwasher, this machine is a pain to clean. The instructions say to turn the machine off when there's 1 to 2 seconds between pops, put the lid on, then remove the heating plate and dome. However, we found that these steps take a minute or so to complete, in which time the stagnant popcorn tends to get a little crispy. We got better at it with practice, but even on our 4th time using the machine we had a few burnt pieces of popcorn because we didn't get the plate off fast enough. The good news is that the popcorn is delicious, especially if you like it cooked with oil. We were able to pick out the few burnt pieces, then we seasoned the popcorn to our liking and went to town. We were also impressed that there were virtually no unpopped kernels remaining. There are two main selling points that set the West Bend popper apart from other popcorn makers. First, there's the stirring rod, which is designed to keep popcorn from getting stuck to the heating plate. Then, there's the butter melter, which seems nice in theory but is pretty much a flop. It's much easier to melt butter in the microwave and pour it over your popcorn after the fact. Presto Orville Redenbacher's hot air popper. We like. Works quickly. No butter or oil needed. Very few unpopped kernels. Built-in measuring cup. Easy to clean. We don't like. Some kernels escape when it's warming up. Plastic top warps easily. No on-off switch. Doesn't melt butter well. In a world where many kitchen appliances are incredibly high-tech and complicated, the Presto hot air popper is surprisingly simple. When we took it out of the box, we were surprised at how easy it was to assemble. In addition to the base, there's a plastic dome that goes on top and a dual measuring scoop butter melter. The power cable can even be wrapped around a little knob on the back of the unit. That's all there is to it, making the machine easy to clean and store. Upon reading the instructions, we did notice a few details that proved to be frustrating during use, though. For one, there's no on-off switch on the machine. Instead, as soon as you plug it in, it starts popping, and you have to unplug it to turn it off. This isn't a huge deal, but it could be inconvenient if your outlet isn't readily accessible. The second, and more pressing, design flaw has to do with the plastic dome. When we read the instructions, we were surprised to see how carefully you have to treat the cover piece. Basically, if you forget to put the cover back on after use, it can warp and render the machine useless. To err on the side of caution, we opted to just leave the cover in place until it cooled down. As you may have guessed, the plastic cover isn't dishwasher safe, but we found that it's easy to clean with a sponge and soapy water. It doesn't generally get that dirty, anyway, as there's no oil used in the process. We loved how easy it was to use the Presto hot air popper. The only letdown was that our pad of butter was only partially melted. The instructions do say that you should use softened butter, otherwise this may happen. What's great about this hot air popper is that you can make truly naked popcorn with no butter or oil, ideal if you're making dessert popcorn. Wabash Valley Farms Whirley-Pop Stovetop Popcorn Popper. We like. Easy to use. Easy to clean. Long warranty. We don't like. More work than microwavable popcorn. You really need to follow instructions. If stovetop popping is more your thing, this popper from Wabash Valley Farms is a great choice. According to the description, it can make 6 quarts of theater-style popcorn in just 3 minutes. The Whirley-Pop is an unassuming aluminum pan with a wooden crank, and here's how it works. First, you put in popcorn kernels and optional oil. Place it on the stove top at medium heat. Then, you turn the crank for less than 3 minutes, or until it becomes difficult to turn, and you end up with the lightest, fluffiest, most fully realized popcorn pillows imaginable. Microwave popcorn is fine, right? Well, yes, if you have a microwave, and you're totally fine with whatever natural and artificial flavor chemicals yield that inimitable faux butter flavor. Whirley-Pop gets it right every time. Other similar poppers don't have nearly as many glowing reviews. Unless you completely overload the pan with kernels, a half cup of kernels is ideal and yields about 6 quarts, the size of 2 standard microwave bags. It is pretty much impossible to burn, thanks to 2 long rotating tines that whisk around as you diligently turn the crank. The best part of all? The Whirley-Pop doesn't need to be washed, just wipe it out after each use with a paper towel, and should you ever grind your gears into non-functionality, speaking from experience here, it has a no questions asked, LL. Bean style 25-year warranty on its website, even if you buy on Amazon. It also makes an ideal gift for the person who has everything/anyone you'd want to spend $30 on without looking totally thoughtless. Presto Power Pop Microwave Multi-Popper. We like. Can make popcorn with or without oil. Easiest popper out there. Completely dishwasher safe. We don't like burned out microwaves and popcorn. Having to buy power cups. Here's a great well-reviewed microwave popper that will satisfy your popcorn cravings. The bowl can pop up to 3 quarts of popcorn in about 2.5 minutes and features power base and power cup concentrators that combine to focus microwave energy so effectively that virtually every kernel pops, according to the description. It's also easy to clean as the bowl and cover can both be placed in the dishwasher. The Presto Power Pop moves away from traditional stovetop poppers and electrical poppers and instead uses a regular microwave to pop 3 quarts of fresh kernels in 2 or 2.5 minutes. Unlike store-bought bagged popcorn, all the kernels pop. Simply pour in your corn, add a little oil, cover with the lid, and stick in the microwave. The secret to harnessing microwave energy lies in the power base and power cup. The power cup is basically a disposable paper cup that sits under the corn kernels in the bowl. These can be purchased separately and still reduce the cost of buying regular bagged popcorn. The power base is removable and locks on the bottom of the bowl. These two innovations focus the microwave's heat so all corn kernels are popped. Unlike many other poppers, both air and stovetop, the PowerPop is very compact at about 6 inches tall and 10 inches wide. It is designed to fit in almost every microwave and can be easily stored in pieces or as a whole unit. This makes it ideal if you have limited storage space, want to take it with you when you travel, or are a student in a dorm. You can also subscribe to our channel for more future reviews and ask any questions in comments.